Hi everyone, I wanted to come back out and give y'all some ideas as far as like some of the specs on the two swim baits that that kind of we offer right now with Perkins Custom Swim Baits. Appreciate everyone taking time to check out the video and kind of getting to see it. But I wanted to give some of the specifications to the baits, kind of how they're made a little bit as far as their length, their weight. That way when you kind of look into your rod, line, reel, everything like that, you've got a kind of good ideas to kind of about what the baits are as far as like what you're looking for. So real quick, we'll just dive right into it. These two baits that I want to kind of go over today, it is the Jethro Shad Glide. That particular bait's been doing extremely well. I've been seeing a lot of really nice fish being caught on it right now. And then the other bait that I'm going to show today is the SHS Shad, or the SHS Shad. So also the SHS stands for the South Houston Special. That's kind of where the little acronym there at the beginning stands for, is South Houston Special. But kind of kick it off, and these are some of the color options too that are offered for the bait. But I appreciate y'all taking some time to check out the video, and I hope y'all enjoy and get something out of it as far as if you end up deciding that you'd like to purchase one of the baits or something like that. Just feel free to reach out to me through social media on Instagram or Facebook, as well as my email. Any of those three options work rather well. Appreciate it. So we'll start real quick with the SHS Shad. So these are two of the different color options. One being, so this is the purple gizzard shad in the SHS, but real quickly kind of going over at least how the bait is. It's a resin bait. All the baits that I make are resin. The original master was made out of wood, and then from there they've been cast and poured out of resin. But this is in the purple gizzard, and I think some of the purple can be seen here. Also have some blue coming down of it that's just kind of shimmers with some of the sunlight. But this is the SHS Shad in purple gizzard. It measures 7.5 inches long, and that is from the tip to the end of the tail. And by that I mean the actual end of the tail section of the bait, not including the fiber tail. And the reason is that I'm kind of measuring them that way is you can trim the tails to your liking. If you want a little bit longer of a tail, you can leave it as is. If you want it to be a little bit shorter, maybe you want closer to that 7.5 inch, or if you want it a little bit bigger, you can leave it, and you can get up to probably about 9 inches on most of the tails that come with the bait. But you can kind of tweak and tailor the bait to your liking and your specifications as to how you like to work the bait and present it. But this is the purple gizzard, and it weighs in at right around 4.8 ounces. It's right under 5 ounces really. So referencing back to my previous video on the rod selection, this would be one of those that I would probably prefer the heavier rod, the Dobbins 806. It definitely can be thrown on the Dobbins 795. I've never had any issues throwing it on that rod. It just, if you throw it for a longer period of time, the rod will, it tends to just help you with less fatigue, and you can throw it a lot longer throughout the day. So that's the purple gizzard. And then I currently have the Tennessee Shad pattern. This is what I call my Tennessee Shad that I paint. It's really just a green and gold, but it's a really good pattern. In fact, the first fish that I ever caught on a SHS was actually on South Houston, and it was in the green gizzard, or the, not green gizzard, but the Tennessee Shad color that we paint. But once again, this is what I consider to be the 7.5 inch body, so not including the fiber tail. But yeah. So this bait, where it is just a little bit longer, it will have a nicer, a little bit wider of a glide. You all can check out some of the previous videos on the YouTube channel, as well as on Facebook and Instagram, some of the different swim videos that are available. The SHS does have its swim video on there, and you can kind of see as to how it works. It also can chop fairly well. It's still short or compact enough to where it can chop rather well. I've not had any issues with it with chopping, and you can still get it into tight enough spots like around docks, lay downs, things of that nature, and be able to work the bait rather well. All right, so now moving into the Jethro glide, which the Jethro is the newest bait in the sense of, you know, it was cast this year, and it was actually carved over the winter. But this is the Jethro. It's a 6-inch bait from the tip of the nose to the end of the actual hard body tail section. It comes in right at 6 inches, and it comes in at about 2.8 ounces. So just under 3 is about where it sits. And it is a, you know, a shorter bait, a little bit stubbier, so it can chop rather well. Personally, that's how I really enjoy working the bait. A really fast chop, much like the you know, spooks type of action underneath the water, a walk the dog kind of action. It really can go fast. And the hooks are very sharp. But so this is the bubblegum shad. It's a pink hue to it, and you can kind of see I've got some fish teeth marks as well as hook rash going on the bait just from where I've thrown it. It's definitely getting a workout here recently. I really like the color, and I'll continue to paint more of it. But this is called bubblegum shad. Yeah. All right, and then very quickly kind of give the other two colors available in the Jethro also. So that being, this is the purple gizzard shad, very similar to the purple gizzard that you saw earlier with the SHS shad, and this is the Tennessee shad with the green. I guess with this one, so I've been experimenting with different hooks personally as to what I personally like to fish the most, but the baits will come stock. A Jethro will come with 2 1/0 treble hooks. Likely they will be the Gamakatsu. At least that's what they're coming with right now. They're coming with the Gamakatsu round bend bronze hooks. 1/0 with a size number 5 owner hyperwire split ring. As I kind of do some experimentation, and I also get some feedback from some of the other anglers that have the baits and have been purchasing the baits, you know, definitely I'll be taking into consideration different hook preferences based on what people seem to be having. But you know, recently, you know, a 5-pounder was caught on the Jethro glide, and no issues whatsoever came out of the hooks, no bending out or anything like that. So unless something drastically changes, the hooks will, or the bait will come with 1/0 Gamakatsu hooks for the Jethros. And then real quick on the hooks for the SHS glide, I don't have any hooks on here currently, but they would come with 2/0 Gamakatsu round bends with also the size number 5 owner hyperwire split ring. You know, I want the baits to both perform well as come with good enough hardware to where I don't have to worry about when you get the bait, you get the fish of a lifetime ready to attack the bait, it attacks the bait. I don't want to be sending you with stock hardware that is not going to be able to handle the fish. I personally have not had a gamakatsu round bend of this size bend out on a fish yet. I do know that if it hooks a rock and it dulls the hook or something like that, anything can happen. But I've not had an instance yet where the hooks have failed. And I do believe that, you know, providing a good quality hardware is important, because that's personally what I would want to use. And side note, you know, it's one of the hooks Butch Brown himself recommends with all of his mini glide bait fish, and he probably holds the record for more double-digit bass than any other individual in the world. So if he's landed fish, you know, in the teens on a gamakatsu round bend 2-aught, that's what he uses on a Depths 250. I'm sure that it could handle most fish. I'm looking forward to seeing how it handles some of the big striper that we have in the area that I live in. But you know, we'll leave that story up for another day when I catch one very large striper, hopefully, on the bait. But I just wanted to reach out. I wanted to touch base, give you some of the specs on the bait, the length, the weight. You know, as far as throwing the baits, both of the baits are kind of made very similarly as far as the joint and how the joint is structured. So the baits will chop well. They will also have a pretty smooth glide just on a straight retrieve. But experiment with them. Find out what you like, and more importantly, find out what your fish like and respond to. You know, the 5-pounder here recently was caught on a very just slow, methodical kind of glide with some pausing in between. Me personally, I've caught some on the very erratic walk the dog. You're chopping the reel handle about as fast as you can go and trying to get it to work. So experiment them out. If you have any issues with the bait, feel free to reach back out to me. I'll do my best to fix the bait to whatever is wrong with it. If it's not staying ballast well or something like that, I'll definitely take a look at it and try to fix it and get you all fixed up. But I appreciate you taking time to watch the video. You know, please like the video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the YouTube channel. I'm going to try to be putting out, you know, a video. I hope to do it once a week. So hopefully Monday afternoons, I'm going to try to shoot for that. But I appreciate your time. I appreciate you taking an interest in the baits and kind of hearing what I have to say based on my experience throwing some of the big hard swim baits, as well as building them. Appreciate your time, and I hope you have a very good day, and I hope you catch plenty of fish on big swim baits. All right, talk to you later. Bye-bye.